"Daddy, please help her." The single dad took down 2 men. Next day, the CEO came looking for him. The scream didn't sound like panic at first. It sounded like a child who still believed the world was good. "Daddy, please help her." Marcus Reed froze mid-step, grocery bag cutting into his fingers, rain dripping from the edge of his hoodie. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, was gripping his leg, her small hand shaking as she pointed across the dimly lit parking lot. A woman was backed against a car. 2 men stood too close, voices low, movements sharp. One blocked her path. The other grabbed her wrist. Marcus felt that familiar knot in his chest, the one every parent knows. The quiet calculation. Is this dangerous? What if Lily gets hurt? What if I make it worse? Then the woman cried out. And Lily whispered again, barely audible. "Daddy, she's scared." That was it. Marcus set the groceries down. He was no hero. He was a single dad who worked maintenance at a downtown office building, lived paycheck to paycheck, and still reheated leftovers like they were a luxury. His knuckles were scarred from years of fixing broken things, not from fighting. But he knew one thing with certainty. His daughter was watching. "Lily," he said softly, kneeling to her level. "Stay right here. Don't move." She nodded, eyes wide, trusting him completely. Marcus walked toward the men. "Hey," he called out, keeping his voice calm. "Let her go." The taller man laughed. "Mind your business, man." The woman's eyes met Marcus's, pure fear, mixed with disbelief that someone had actually stepped in. Marcus didn't raise his fists. He didn't shout. He simply stepped between them. The first punch came fast. Too fast. It clipped his jaw, sending a flash of white through his head. But years of lifting, bending, bracing, of surviving, kicked in. Marcus stumbled, steadied himself, and reacted on instinct. He didn't fight like a trained man. He fought like a father. One man went down hard against the pavement. The other tried to circle around, but Marcus shoved him back, using his weight, his anger, his fear, his love. It was messy. It was raw. It was over in less than 30 seconds. The men ran. Silence rushed back in, broken only by Marcus's heavy breathing. The woman slid down the car, shaking. Marcus turned, heart pounding, already checking the lot for Lily. She was still there, hands over her mouth, eyes locked on him. He walked back to her, crouched, and pulled her into his chest. "You okay?" he asked. Lily nodded. Then she looked past him at the woman and asked, "Is she safe now?" Marcus glanced over. The woman was on her feet, wiping tears, staring at him like she couldn't decide whether to cry or hug him. "She is," he said. "Because you spoke up." The woman approached slowly. I don't know how to thank you." Marcus shook his head. "Just get home safe." She hesitated. "What's your name?" "Marcus." "Thank you, Marcus," she said, voice breaking. "You didn't have to do that." He smiled tiredly. "Yeah. I did." They never exchanged numbers. No police report. No applause. Just rain, a shaken woman walking away, and a little girl holding her father's hand a bit tighter than usual. That night, Marcus iced his jaw and helped Lily with her spelling words like nothing extraordinary had happened. But Lily looked at him differently. At bedtime, as he tucked her in, she asked, "Daddy, were you scared?" He paused. "Yes," he admitted. She smiled, sleepy and proud. "That's okay. You were brave anyway." The next morning, Marcus was back at work by 6 a.m., pushing a cleaning cart through polished hallways of a glass tower downtown. The kind of building where power hummed quietly behind every door. Around 10 a.m., his supervisor approached him, nervous. "Marcus, there's someone asking for you. Upstairs." Marcus frowned. "Did I mess something up?" The supervisor swallowed. "No. Just, come with me." They rode the elevator to the top floor, somewhere Marcus had never been. The doors opened to sunlight, city views, and a conference room bigger than his apartment. A man in an expensive suit stood by the window. He turned. "Marcus Reed?" "Yes, sir." The man smiled, but his eyes were serious. "My name is Daniel Whitmore. I'm the CEO of this company." Marcus's stomach dropped. "I was told you helped someone last night." Marcus stiffened. "If this is about trouble." Daniel raised a hand. "It's about my sister." Marcus blinked. "She called me at midnight," Daniel continued, voice tight. Shaking. Crying. She said 2 men tried to corner her. And that a stranger stepped in. A man with a little girl. Marcus exhaled slowly. "She said she saw fear in your eyes," Daniel said. "And that you didn't run." Daniel walked closer, extending his hand. Marcus shook it, still confused. "I've spent my life surrounded by people who talk about values," Daniel said. "Integrity. Leadership. Courage. Last night, my sister met someone who actually lived them." He slid a folder across the table. Inside was a job offer. Facilities manager. Full benefits. Salary that made Marcus's chest tighten. "I asked HR to look into you," Daniel said. "You've been doing the work of 3 people for years." Marcus stared at the paper. "Sir. I didn't help her for this." "I know," Daniel replied. "That's why you deserve it." Marcus swallowed hard. "I just did what anyone should." Daniel shook his head. "Most people don't." There was a pause. "And one more thing," Daniel added. "My sister wanted me to thank your daughter. She said she's the reason she's alive." Marcus's eyes burned. That evening, Marcus picked Lily up from school early. Ice cream instead of homework. Laughter instead of routine. "Why today special?" Lily asked, mouth full of chocolate. Marcus smiled. "Because you reminded me what kind of man I want to be." She tilted her head. "I just didn't want her to be scared." Marcus reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "That," he said, "is how the world gets better. Sometimes, kindness doesn't wear a cape. Sometimes it wears a worn hoodie, holds a child's hand, and steps forward when it's easier to look away. And sometimes, a single brave whisper, 'Daddy, please help her,' is enough to change everything."